Hi, I'm Dhruv. I'm a software engineer and I have been building AI products for the last 10 years now. This is my YouTube channel where I break down what's happening in the AI world currently and how you can leverage it for your business. Today, I'm going to answer some of the most common questions asked about AI on the internet. Does the 1 million context in Claude mean I don't need to build RAG anymore? For a lot of use cases, yeah. You can probably skip RAG now. 1 million tokens is enough to fit a lot of things into context. You just stuff it in Claude, attend to all of it. But this has a CV. If you have tons of internal documentation or tickets in support knowledge or a multi-tenant product where every customer has their own data, RAG is still the right answer. 1 million context handles a large document. It doesn't handle all the data your company has ever generated. Be honest with yourself about size. Measure the actual token count of data your agent needs to reason over. If it fits comfortably in 1 million with room to spare for conversation, skip RAG. If it doesn't, then RAG is the answer. I'm building an AI product for small businesses. Anthropic just launched Claude for small business. Am I quote? Depends on what your product does. If your product is just a thin AI wrapper that does payroll prep, cash flow forecasting, then yes, you have a problem. Those are literally the workflows Anthropic just shipped inside QuickBooks and HubSpot. If your product is something else, a deep vertical solution for a specific industry, a tool that owns proprietary data the AI needs, a system that connects to physical world operations, then you are fine. Probably better than fine. Because the more AI agents multiply, the more valuable your specialized data and integrations become. The actual question to ask is, if Anthropic shipped a Claude workflow for my exact use case tomorrow, would my customers leave? If the answer is yes, you are building on borrowed time and you should pivot to a deeper specialization, proprietary data, or vertical specific compliance. If the answer is no, because your product knows things Anthropic doesn't, or because it executes things in real world Anthropic can't, then keep building. The mistake is panicking and either freezing or chasing the same generic AI feature. The move is to figure out this week what your moat actually is and double down on the parts of your product that aren't replaceable by a horizontal AI agent. What's the actual difference between Claude skills, subagents, and MCP, and when do I use which? MCP is for capability. If Claude doesn't have a way to talk to a system on its own, your database, your Slack, your custom internal API, that's MCP. You are handing Claude a new tool it didn't have before. Anything that involves Claude needs to reach a thing outside itself, that's MCP. Full stop. Skills are for know-how. Claude can already do the underlying task, generate a PDF, format a doc, run a test, but you want to encode how your team does it specifically. Whenever you make a slide deck, use our brand colors, our title style, our footer, that's a skill. You are not giving Claude a new ability. You are giving it your playbook, an ability it already has. Subagents are for parallelism and isolation. When one task is genuinely independent enough, things like audit these 12 files in parallel, research these 5 competitors at the same time, then you spin up subagents and let them run. The parent agent orchestrates, the subagents do the isolated work. The parent stitches results back together. The new dynamic workflows feature in Opus 4.8 is basically subagents with smarter scheduling. The mental model that works for me. MCP gives Claude new senses. Skills teach Claude your style. Subagents give Claude more hands. Most production setups use all three at once, and that's fine. Is Claude Max worth over $100 a month if I'm already paying for Cursor? If you are already paying for Cursor and you are asking this question, you are probably bouncing between the two. Short answer, yes, Max is worth it, but for a very specific reason, that is running parallel agent. The reason is not more tokens, the reason is parallel work. With Claude Max, you can comfortably leave Claude code running on a big feature in just one terminal, run a second Claude session on a documentation rewrite, and still have headroom for whatever interactive things pops up. The one trap to avoid, don't get Max 20x at $200 unless Claude Code is genuinely your primary coding partner all day, every day. Can I let an AI agent take real actions in my app like cancel orders, refund customers, update inventory without it doing something stupid? The answer is a big yes. This is the question almost every founder is going to be wrestling with in the next 6 months. You can obviously let agents take real actions, but you need to design the guardrails like you are hiring an intern. The pattern that actually works in production has 3 layers. First, scoped permissions at the MCP MCP layer. Your agent should have a least privileged role that can do exactly the actions you wanted. Absolutely nothing else. If you only wanted to issue refunds under $50, the underlying API key uses a cannot be capable of refunding more than that. Don't try to enforce the limit in the prompt. Enforce it in the permissions. Second level confirmation for anything irreversible. Reads can be auto-approved. Writes are easily undone. Like draft an email, file a ticket can be auto-approved. Things that move money, cancel orders, or touch customer records should require a human in the loop. At least for the first 3 months you are running this. Even Anthropic builds it this way in their own demos. Third, full audit logs of every call the agent makes. Every single one. This is where founders cut corners and regret it later. When a customer says your AI cancelled my order and I lost my pricing, you need to be able to reconstruct exactly what the agent saw, what it decided, and why. The new NSA MCP security guidance basically requires this if you ever sell into enterprise. The architecture I would actually build a private MCP server in front of your app API that does permission enforcement, action gating, and login with Claude or another agent on top. What's the cheapest way to run a long-running AI agent task overnight without burning my API budget? Two things to do this in order of impact. First, use the standard model, not the fast one. Opus 4.8 standard is half the price of fast mode, and when the agent is running while you sleep, you do not care if it takes 90 minutes instead of 40. Second, write a really tight prompt with hard boundaries. Just saying refactor this code is bad. Saying refactor this file to use the new logger, do not touch other files, do not run tests, stop after one pass, and print a diff. Good hard boundaries, cost nothing, and they cut token spend by half on most tasks. If this video was helpful, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my newsletter on week1labs.com. See you in the next one.